today we are going to start with the format of informal letter as we have already done in the discussion part earlier in the chapter, but still we have to do the format so that everything should be clear to you. So as you know that for informal letter, what we have sender's address first, which should be mentioned in 3 lines, your house number or your street, then ultimately your area, your colony, and then the city. I'll shift it a little bit on that side so that it will be quite clear to you. Yes, now it's fine. Sender's address, you will write down. Leave line, write down date. You know what is the format of date, that in case of English, you always write down the date, for example, 19 July 21. But if you will write down in this manner, it will be considered as wrong. Then leave line. Afterwards, write down salutation. Okay, so salutation you will write down, for example, dear friend, dear mother, dear brother, because informal letter, they are what are informal letters? Informal letters, they are the letters which are written to your friends, to your relatives, or to your near and dear ones. So ultimately, why you write down to your relatives, also to giving some invitation to share your experiences, or sometimes to share your happiness, to invite them, or ultimately in order to share what you feel and tell them how you felt, what is your greatest achievement. So for these, we write down informal letters to your friends and relatives. Okay? And just a moment, please. Now, afterwards, because we are writing an informal letter, so ultimately in case of informal letter, as it is written to your relatives, to your friends, so your tone should be informal. You will write down in an informal manner, use informal language, give a complete expression to your feelings, what you feel, and what is going on in your mind. But in case of formal letters, you are bound with your words. You have to write only what is required. You never beat about the book, but here you are free to give a complete expression to your feelings. Then afterwards, salutation after writing dear friend, dear mother, dear brother, dear sister. Then coming up to body. First of all, that is the introductory para. How you write down introductory para. It means that in introductory para, you will ask about the well-being of your friends and relatives and ask about well-being and right reason of your writing. So how you can write down your, you can ask you the well-being. So can anybody tell how you are starting informal letter? Just raise up your hand so that I can unmute you. Yes, 8th class. Raise up your hand. Kritika, Japji, yes. How you can write down? Khyati, yes. Manasvi. Unmute yourself. Yes, Manasvi.
I'm in this way. I am fine, and I hope that you are in the same boat.
Yes, I hope that I'm fine, and I hope that you are also sailing in the same boat, or I hope that you are enjoying good health and high spirits. Okay. Yes, Khyati wants to speak. Yes, Khyati.
I hope this letter finds you in the pink of your health.
Okay, I hope that this letter finds you in the pink of your health, and think of your health and high spirits. And today I am writing to what is the reason for your writing. You will explain here. Then afterwards, it is the main para. Main para, you will express your feelings in detail. Express your feelings in detail, that what you feel, right? So give a complete expression to your feelings, to your ideas, what you want to express, what you want to say in the second paragraph. Next, afterwards, the third one, that is the concluding para, in which you will conclude your letter. You will finish, you will wind up. So giving up a hope to meet you soon, and I wish that we will meet soon and share our good times in the next holidays, and I'm coming home soon if you are writing to your parents. So in this manner, you will write down, right? So after that, yours lovingly, in case you are writing to your elders, for example, to your father and mother. If you are writing to your friend, then you can write down your loving friend, your loving brother, your loving sister, and then your name. Okay, so this is how you have to write down an informal letter. You have to note this format in your fair notebooks. Okay.
Can we send fair copies of chapter 4?
Yes, you can send. Start sending the notebooks for chapter 1. Next, so note down in your fair notebooks. First of all, sender's address, date, salutation. First of all, introductory para, in which you ask about the well-being of your friends, relatives, and then also mention the reason why you are writing a letter. Then afterwards, in the main para, you will express your feelings in detail, giving a complete view of the reason of your writing a letter. And then finally, in the concluding para, you will wind up your letter. So in this manner, an informal letter is written. So now let us do one question that I'm writing on board. Write a letter to your friend sharing with him your experience after you have read a famous book on the life of great personality So this is the question that you have to write down in your notebooks, and you have to write about it in your notebooks. So the question is, write a letter to your friend sharing with him your experience after you have read a famous book on the life of a great personality. Okay, so on the life of great personality, as you have written, so as you have read, you have to write a letter. So let us start. So first of all, tell me, have you ever read a book? You must have read a book, or you must have read a chapter on the personality of great people. So let us start. What values you have learned, you also have to include these values in your letter. So first of all, you will write down sender's address, Then you will leave line, you will write down date, and then dear friend. So main paragraph, I hope that this letter will find you in the pink of your health and high spirit. But today I have not written to share, today I have written this letter in order to share with you my amazing experience after reading a book. And as I have read a famous book, Wings of Fire, based upon the life of our 11th President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, right? So in this manner, you will write down. So introductory para done, in which you have mentioned that why you are writing a letter and what you have read. Now para 2, what you will read, what you will write, give your feelings. So during my summer vacation, I was assigned a homework to read this book. Earlier, I was reluctant. Reluctant means not ready. Earlier, I was reluctant to read this book as I was feeling tired of books. But as I have to write about the values learned from this book, finally, in the midst of my summer vacation, I started reading this book. And when I read, it really sounds interesting, as I come to know that greatness cannot be achieved overnight. It requires strength of character that I have learned from the life of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I have also read in the book how he has worked on various projects in order to become the missile man of India. And moreover, I have learned from this book that simple living and high things will always make a man great. This was really an interesting book, giving us various ideas of the life of APJ Abdul Kalam. And I also recommend you, recommend means I also suggest you to read this book, as it will also help you to imbibe good values in your life. I have also learned to be charitable in nature, to help others in need, and not to discriminate with anybody on the basis of caste. He has faced many obstacles in his life because he was a Muslim boy during his childhood also. But finally, he stood against these obstacles, and it is because of this reason he turned out to be a great man. And this finally I have read from the life of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So you have written, it is not necessary that if I have talked about this book, you will have to write about this only. If you have read any other interesting book, you can write it. Okay, it is completely based upon your choice. Then afterwards, concluding paragraph. Now, in the next letter, you will tell me which famous book you have read, so that you can share your ideas with me. And in my free time also, I will also read that book. So your loving friend, not lovingly because this is used for elders, your loving friend, and then your name should be written at the end.
मैम सीधा your friend लिख सकते हैं?
Your
simple your friend.
So your friend, yes, simple your friend. Your friend you can write down, your friend. Okay, so with this letter can be done, and this you have to do in your pair notebooks. I hope that it is clear. If it is clear, show me your thumb rule. Put your thumbs up. Right. So clear? That's fine. And now afterwards, as I have told you that I will give you an introduction about the poem that is The Last Bargain. So this is the next poem in your chapter, The Last Bargain, which is written by the famous poet of India, Rabindranath Tagore. He is a Bengali poet. He has written many poems in Bengali language, but ultimately he has also written many poems in English language. And the ideas which are going to be presented in his poem, they are so deep, so profound. Profound means deep. So profound ideas that he is giving out, he is delivering out in his poem, that ultimately they turn out to be a great lesson for us. It is through these, you can say, great people, through the experiences, through the words of great people, that we really learn how to admire your life, how to admire good virtues. And this is what we have learned in this poem. So the poem is The Last Bargain by Rabindranath Tagore. So what Rabindranath Tagore, he has discussed about in this poem, what he has said in this poem. So Rabindranath Tagore, being a poet, he has explained that there is just one thing that is valuable in life. Can you make guesses which things are valuable in life for you? Of which you feel that yes, this is the most important thing and without which we can't live. Yes, raise up your hand. Yes, Khyati.
Food and water.
Yes,
Food and water.
food and water. These are basic necessities. I agree. These are basic necessities, means they are important to sustain our life. But if I will talk about other things, what is required? What is important? Yes,
Family.
yes, Khyati.
Family.
Family. Okay. Family is
Food,
important.
clothing and shelter.
Yes,
Food, clothing and shelter.
that I agree that these are the basic necessities without which we can't live. And apart from this, what is important?
Emotions.
Yes,
Emotions.
what?
Emotions.
I'm not getting.
Ma'am, he is saying emotions.
Emotions.
Yes, ma'am.
Emotions, yes. And you know, emotion is not a single feeling. Emotion is a very deep subject in which you have different kind of emotion, right? And emotion, without emotions, we can't live because emotions are actually part of our body. So with money and power, some people, they give lot of importance to money and power. They feel they put all their efforts in order to achieve great amount of wealth. They put their best efforts so that they can achieve, you can say, so that they can achieve power, right? Some people, they put their efforts in order to achieve luxury, right? But some people, they feel that for living a life, what is most important is freedom, right? What is most important is freedom. And you have very well got to know the value of freedom these days. You have come to know the value of freedom because
Yes,
the
ma'am.
previous lockdown or the first lockdown, it has very well taught us the lesson that how much a freedom is important in our life. Life in, you can say life in, you can say in a custody or life in a binding place will always make you feel depressed, sad, and all our life activities, they come to an end. Am I right? And ultimately, what thing we were always praying for during that time? We were praying for freedom. We were always wishing, would that day come when this lockdown will be over? I'll go to market, I'll do whatever I want, right? So ultimately, what is there? You will always feel that freedom is most important thing in life. If freedom is curtailed, freedom is stopped, if from anybody freedom is stopped forever, then ultimately what will happen? The life of a person would always come to an end. And this important message the poet is going to deliver in this poem. What important message that he is going to deliver in this poem? That for living a life, money, beauty, love, they are all secondary things. We can live a life, we can live a happy life with these feelings. But these feelings, they are not so necessary in our life that we will or we cannot live without these. But a poet is saying that for living a life, freedom is of great importance. As freedom is of great importance, so he is never ready to sacrifice his freedom for anything else, even for earning his livelihood. He is always saying that he wants freedom at its, you can say, at its highest priority. He always wants that his freedom, it should not be curtailed, it should not be stopped. He should never be stopped from enjoying his freedom. Rather, he should enjoy his freedom in his truest sense. Right? So this is the message the poem is going to convey. How the poet is conveying this message. Now, next question rises. Now the poet is saying that he is going from one place to another so that the other people or the person can hire him. Hire him means he will provide him a job and in return he will get some money. Ultimately, as I told you, that money is of course the basic necessity. Okay, right? So that he would get something in return. Okay, he would provide a job to someone and he would get something in return, and he will provide his services. But finally, the poet is not agreeing to what other persons were providing him. So first of all, in the morning here, it symbolizes hopefulness, freshness of mind. He has gone to a king. He told the king that he will do some job for him and what he will get in return. The king told him that in return he will provide him his part. But the man thought, no, I don't need this part to live my life. This is not so much important. And finally, he went away from that place. Afterwards, in the midday what happened that when he was moving through the houses, he has met an old man who was having a bag of gold. He told the man to hire him, to provide him some job, and what he will get in return. The old man said that in return he will give him his bag of gold, some coins of gold. The man even started counting the coins in order to provide him, in order to give him. But the man thought, no, these gold coins are not of any use to me. It's not so important in my life that I can provide my services in return to that of gold. Later on, the poet, he has gone to a woman who was, pruning the garden. And he told that he will help that woman. And what she would give in return to him? She said that she would provide him her smile. Smile here refers to beauty. It means that she would provide her beauty, soothness of her beauty. But the man said no. The beauty or the soothness of beauty is not so important in life. So he went away from that place also. Later on, this man, he has come to a young boy who was playing with the seashells. He told the young boy that he would play with him if he wanted. If he would hire him, what he will give in return. The child replied that he will not give him anything, but he will make him a free man. Free man means that he will provide him freedom. So this man thought that this is really great thing that he is getting in return. Actually, the man was not able to sacrifice his freedom at any cost. He never wanted that his freedom should be curtailed. What he actually wanted is, he actually wanted freedom and only freedom. It means that the poet, through this poem, he wants to deliver us that actually, you can say, freedom is the one of the important thing that that should not be curtailed, that should never be stopped, that should not be obstructed. If freedom is lost, everything is lost. It will make the person to feel that he has lost the, you can say, zeal to live. He has lost the enthusiasm to live. And ultimately, the poet wants that this enthusiasm, it should not come to an end. He always wants that his love for freedom holds the highest priority in his life. And what is the last bargain? The last bargain, of course, is about the bargain. Bargain means, what is bargain actually? Bargain is actually an agreement in which two persons, they settle upon an agreement that if one would provide something, the other, what other person would give in return. So this is bargain. So here the last bargain is important. The last agreement is important that he has made with the young boy who was playing with his shells. And this is the reason why the name of the poem is The Last Bargain. Tomorrow, we will continue with the description of the poem in detail, and it is complete for today.